Oh, hello boys and girls, welcome back to Dino Girl's Dino Tales. Just having a lovely sip of cocoa to get me in the mood for a snuggly story time. I am going to read you a story today, boys and girls, about a dinosaur known as an iguanodon. Iguanodon and the noisy night. This iguanodon just couldn't get to sleep. You're going to find out why in just a little bit. But first, let's get cozy. Yeah. Let's have a look in the blankie bag and see what's in there for me to cozy up today. Oh, goody. Snuggle socks. All comfort. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's lovely. I like a good snuggle sock. Brilliant. I wonder what else there is to make me snuggly. Ooh, it's a bit posh, but that looks lovely. Ooh, a lovely furry shrug. Softy pofty. One of Dino Girl's favourite things. Okay, I saw something else in the blankie bag, so let's have a look. What else is there? Oh, and a lovely big, oh yeah. Oh, I could put it all the way around my shoulders, like a nest. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, boys and girls, why don't you get yourselves all snuggled up like Dino Girl and then come and join me, huh? Oh, I tell you what, whilst you're doing that, I'll just find my friend behind the chair. Look, he's so cute. This is a little baby iguanodon. Hello, baby iguanodon. What's your name? My name's Iggy. Iggy? Oh, okay. And Iggy, do you want to wave to the boys and girls? No, I'm too shy. Oh, okay. Not to worry. Not to worry. Keep yourself calm. It's snuggly story time, Iggy. So we don't need to worry about being shy. Just sit back and enjoy the story, eh, boys and girls? Give them a wave. That's it. Come and join me, boys and girls. Let's read our story together. There we go. Now, Iggy is all comfy-wumpy. Boys and girls, are you all nested in? Then let's begin. Iguanodon and the noisy night. Who will we be meeting today? Say hello to Isaac the Iguanodon, Amos the Amargasaurus, Stanley the Sauropelta, and Roxana the Rabachisaurus. Also featuring Lorcianis. One noisy night, millions of years ago, an iguanodon called Isaac could not sleep. It was a stormy night. Thunder cracked, lightning fizzed, and heavy rain hammered onto the rocks. Around Isaac, his herd dozed peacefully, but the sounds of the night kept Isaac awake.
last, the storm quietened, and Isaac was just dropping off to sleep when Amos the Amargasaurus was having a midnight snack. "Oh, please be quiet," Isaac shouted. "Night is not the time for snacking." And Isaac stuck a fir cone in each ear to block out the noise. Amos stopped eating and Isaac was just nodding off again when... Now, Roxana, the Rabachisaurus, was having a bad dream. "Shush!" Isaac called out, louder this time. "Night is not the time for shouting!" And Isaac lay down again and pulled a big palm leaf over his face. Roxana settled down and Isaac was just drifting off for a third time when... Squitch, squitch, scratch. A Sauropelta called Stanley was scratching an itch between his shoulder spikes. "Stop!" yelled Isaac as loud as he could. "Night is not the time for scratching!" And he buried his head under his mum's leg. Suddenly, there was an enormous crack from the storm again, and Isaac jumped. He squeezed in between his mum and dad and next to his little sister. But maybe that wasn't such a good idea either. Snored his dad. Went his mum. And wheezed his baby sister. Oh, when was this noisy night ever going to end? Just about everything else in the forest that could make a noise did make a noise that night. Thunder boomed. Trees creaked. Wind howled. Even the bugs buzzed louder than normal. "Be quiet!" Isaac yelled at it all. The next day, Isaac came up with a plan. He collected pine nuts, horsetail plants, fern leaves, and all of the things that Amos loved to eat. Then he took all the food to Amos. Here's a big feast for you to eat before bedtime," said Isaac. "Then you won't snack in the night." Next, Isaac rushed around the forest looking for unusual creatures. Isaac wanted to tell Roxana a relaxing story to help her settle for the night. He soon spotted a lovely Lorxinis. Isaac made up a super story about the Lorxinis. "I'll tell you the ending at bedtime," he said to Roxana. "You'll have happy, sleepy thoughts tonight," Isaac promised. There wasn't much time left. Isaac rushed back into the forest and looked for a special piece of rough and bumpy bark. Isaac found just what he was looking for and took it back for Stanley. This will be perfect for you to scratch your back on before bedtime, he told Stanley. It was getting dark, but Isaac was still busy. He tied back loose branches and blocked gaps in any trees that might want to whistle in the wind. He slapped moss on any rocks that might be noisy if it rained, and made a cosy palm leaf tent to sleep under. Perfect. Then Isaac tripped over something in the dull evening light. He looked down at 2 palm leaf bulbs poking out from the ground. They were the perfect size to block his ears. Phew, sighed Isaac, trying the palm leaf bulbs in his ears. That busy day has tired me out. I'll just sit here for a while. By bedtime, the forest was quiet, but Isaac was nowhere to be found. His friends soon discovered him behind a tree. Now, the only sound anyone could hear was Isaac snoring very loudly. The end. But you've guessed it, boys and girls. It's time to Dino Tale it again. Let's have a look at the pictures. Let's find a bit out about the dinosaurs. So here we have poor old Isaac the Iguanodon. He can't sleep for toffee. I tell you something though, boys and girls, Iguanodon is quite a famous dinosaur because some of the fossils of Iguanodon were found in the UK, and it was one of the first. And when they first found it, they found a spike which they thought went on the top of the Iguanodon's nose, a bit like the Triceratops. And then later on they discovered, oops, it doesn't go on the nose, it goes on the thumb. It was a thumb spike. Where's Izzy? Look at my thumb spike on Iggy the dinosaur. So that was a bit of a mistake, but we learn about dinosaurs all the time. Always new things to learn. And here we've got the Amargasaurus. Now this story is set in the early Cretaceous period, so that was the 3rd period out of the 3 of the dinosaurs. And this sauropod was easily spotted because of the spikes that went along his neck and some of his back. And here's another sauropod from the early Cretaceous, Rebbachisaurus. And Roxana, the Rebbachisaurus, has this, what looks like a kind of sail along the back. And in fact, that is a correct drawing of them. They had this unusual small sail on their back. Slightly like the Spinosaurus, but I don't think it was as big. Okay. And Stanley the Sauropelta. Now, he was a nodosaur, which is similar to the Ankylosaurus, except if you remember, on the Ankylosaurus, they have a club on their tail, but The Nodosauridae don't. And so Sauropelta doesn't. And there's Isaac hiding under Mummy's leg. That's nice. I would have thought that would have worked, really. He should have stayed there. But no, he went and slept next to his sister and Dad and his mum. What kept him awake, boys and girls? Can you remember? The snoring. That's right. And here we have an awful lot keeping him awake. Thunder booming, trees creaking, wind howling. And there we have Roxana the Amargasaurus again. She's fast asleep, but poor old Isaac isn't. But what a brilliant idea, boys and girls. I bet you didn't expect that. In the story, I didn't expect that to happen. Make it so all the dinosaurs slept. What a great plan. I'm making up a story for the Rabachisaurus using the Lorxiornis. Now, this is actually a very interesting little creature. It's part of the smallest Mesozoic bird, but very little is known about this creature. Very few fossils found, so we don't know very much about Lorxiornis. We learn all the time about dinosaurs because we find new fossils all the time. What we thought we knew, sometimes we find is wrong. Like the thumb spike on our Iguanodon. See, thumb spike, not nose spike. Now, what did he do, boys and girls, to stop all the noise? Tying back leaves, blocking up holes, covering stones, and making a nice tent. He was ready for his sleep. But what happened? He never made it back to his tent. He popped the earplugs in, and before you know it, he'd gone to sleep. And then, guess what? He snored the loudest of all of them.